Traveling to Japan is always an exciting adventure. Whether you're visiting the neon-lit streets of Tokyo, exploring ancient temples in Kyoto, or enjoying the scenic beauty of Hokkaido, staying connected while on the move is essential. In the past, I've had my fair share of difficulties when it comes to staying connected in Japan, dealing with SIM cards that didn't work as expected, searching for a local provider, and worrying about hidden fees. But that all changed when I discovered Saily Esim. Here's why I believe Saily is the best option for anyone visiting Japan. When I first traveled to Japan, one of my biggest challenges was figuring out the best way to stay connected. Traditional SIM cards seemed like the obvious choice, but they often came with long queues at the airport or the hassle of finding a store once I arrived. Not to mention, language barriers could complicate things, especially if I needed help or had questions. Then, I found Saily eSIM, and everything became so much easier. With Saily, all I had to do was download the app, choose the plan that worked for my trip, and I was good to go. No waiting in line, no dealing with language barriers, and no stressing about getting the wrong SIM card. Just a simple, smooth process that allowed me to get connected the minute I arrived in Japan. This was a game changer, and it saved me a lot of time and frustration. One of the main reasons I switched to Saily eSIM is because of its seamless coverage. Japan is known for its modern technology and excellent infrastructure, but when it comes to staying connected, the situation can be tricky, especially in rural areas. I've had moments when I struggled with slow data speeds or weak signals when using traditional SIM cards, particularly in more remote parts of the country. That's not the case with Saily. From the busy streets of Shibuya to the peaceful temples of Kyoto, Saily eSIM provided reliable and fast data coverage everywhere I went. Whether I was using Google Maps to navigate the city, checking social media, or just sending messages to friends and family, my connection was consistently strong. Even in areas that were far from major cities, I could always count on my data to work without interruption. For anyone traveling to Japan and wanting to avoid the hassle of constantly searching for Wi-Fi hotspots, Saily eSIM ensures you're always connected, whether you're in a bustling metropolis or the countryside. When I used to rely on traditional SIM cards in Japan, the pricing was often unpredictable. I never quite knew how much data I would use, and I always had to deal with confusing pricing tiers. Sometimes, I ended up paying for more than I needed, and other times I found myself running out of data sooner than expected. It was a bit of a gamble, and I didn't like the uncertainty that came with it. With Saily eSIM, everything is transparent and affordable. I was able to choose the data plan that perfectly matched my travel needs, whether I was only staying for a few days or several weeks. The flexibility of Saily made it easy for me to adjust my plan if my needs changed during the trip. There were no hidden fees, no surprise charges, and no complicated billing issues to deal with. It was straightforward and simple, which gave me peace of mind throughout my time in Japan. Additionally, I found the plans to be highly competitive. Considering how much I rely on data for navigation and staying in touch with others while traveling, it's important to me that the price I pay reflects the value and coverage I receive. Saily provided that value, and I never felt like I was paying more than necessary. One of the biggest frustrations when using a traditional SIM card in Japan was the waiting period. After landing at the airport, I'd have to stand in line, fill out paperwork, and sometimes even wait hours for my SIM card to be activated. This process could be stressful, especially if I had to head straight to a meeting or event. With Saily eSIM, activation is instant. As soon as I arrived in Japan, I was able to activate my eSIM and start using data right away. No need to visit a store or wait for the activation process to complete. This instant connectivity made my experience so much smoother and more efficient. I didn't waste time, and I didn't have to worry about whether I was going to get a working SIM card in time. In a place like Japan, where time is of the essence, having an eSIM that activates instantly is invaluable. It saved me a lot of time, allowing me to focus on my trip and not on logistics. Another feature of Saily eSIM that I love is the app itself. I've tried several eSIM providers in the past, and I've often been disappointed by the app's interface, which was either too complicated or buggy. That was never an issue with Saily. The app was intuitive, easy to navigate, and responsive. It made managing my plan, adding data, and checking my usage effortless. I could also keep track of my data consumption in real time, which helped me make sure I wasn't going over my limit. If I needed to add more data, the process was quick and simple. The app made everything feel seamless and took away any worries about whether I was going to run out of data unexpectedly. For me, a good app is essential when it comes to managing my eSIM, and Saily definitely delivers in this area. In conclusion, Saily eSIM is hands down the best eSIM for anyone visiting Japan. It's convenient, reliable, and cost-effective. With Saily, I don't have to worry about roaming charges, long activation processes, or hidden fees. It offers seamless data coverage across Japan, from the urban centers to remote areas, ensuring I'm always connected when I need it the most. For travelers looking for a hassle-free, affordable, and efficient way to stay connected in Japan, I highly recommend Saily eSIM. It's made my trips to Japan so much easier, and I know it can do the same for you. Whether you're visiting for a short time or staying longer, Saily offers the perfect solution for anyone wanting to stay connected without the usual complications. So, next time you're planning a trip to Japan, make sure you choose Saily eSIM. You won't regret it.